I'm just going to do a quick addendum video to my last video where I ended off with the CIA document that talked about Olaf Palme and Indira Ghandi's assassinations and lumped Samantha Smith in there, charging that the Soviet Union had released an article, a TASS article, talking about the U.S.'s involvement, the CIA, FBI, and all of that. And what wound up sparking that CIA document was not fully the probe into the FBI file that Sylvia Chase made, but it was a meeting that this lady, Rozanne Ridgway, had with the Soviet charge to the Secretary of State in the USSR, Oleg Sokolov. And there's a document that was drawn up by George Shultz, the U.S. Secretary of State at the time. And the person that wrote the article in question here, the TASS article, was Anatoliy Krasakov. Ridgway was the Assistant Secretary of State for the European and Canadian Affairs, and very powerful woman. She was involved in all 4 summits between Gorbachev and Reagan. She was involved in the Bilderbergs, CFR, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Brookings Institute. Very powerful lady, and very, very much in with the disarmament scene, and being involved with the Secretary of State, the Department of State. She was probably aware of Samantha Smith, even before all of this, but probably even actually met her, as Samantha was screened by the Department of State with Arthur and Jane before she made her trip to the Soviet Union. So she probably actually had already met Samantha. Anatoly Krasakov, the guy that wrote the TASS article, he was a Russian journalist specializing in religious studies. And he actually had worked with something called the World Council of Churches, which ties in with the United Nations. And I won't go into that right now, but that'll come into play down the road. But he's the guy that actually wrote the article. And let's take a look at the article now. So I think it was drawn up on March 3rd, 1986. So it was right after Sylvia Chase and the FBI and all of that came about. And the subject that Schultz called it was the Department protests TASS article insinuating U.S. involvement in Palme's death. And the summary says, during a March 3rd meeting with Soviet charge Oleg Sokolov, European Assistant Secretary Rozanne L. Ridgway protested a March 1st TASS article which insinuated U.S. involvement in the deaths of Olaf Palme and Samantha Smith. During the March 3rd meeting, Ridgway called Sokolov's attention to March 1st TASS article by Anatoly Krasakov. The article alleged that slain Swedish Prime Minister Olaf Palme had been kept under surveillance by the CIA for his opposition to the war in Vietnam. The article also referred to alleged recent reports in the world press that the FBI had kept Samantha Smith under surveillance because of alarm over her peace mission to the Soviet Union. Although the conclusion is left unstated, the linking of the Palme and Smith deaths with their supposed surveillance by U.S. government agencies leaves the clear implication of U.S. government involvement in their deaths. And that's interesting. A clear implication. You'll see what Sokolov actually has to say about that here. Ridgway told Sokolov that the U.S. government strongly protested this scurrilous article, whose obvious untruth and political motivation was clear. In rejoinder to Sokolov's claim that the article carried no implication of U.S. involvement in the 2 deaths, she noted that such an implication had already been drawn in both the Swedish and Indian press. She added that the article such as this could only do harm to U.S.-Soviet relations. Sokolov agreed to report the protest to his government. So Sokolov doesn't agree with Ridgway, obviously, and I'm sure he got right on reporting that to his government. I don't think that he really cared by what's being said here, as he didn't believe that the article implicated the U.S. as badly as Ridgway is saying. So let's see. Let me check this out real quick. I'll hold off on that. What this article shows, though, overall, is that the United States FBI, CIA, and here's Ridgway working for the Department of State, we're all concerned about these accusations that were coming out. So once again, really what this does is it's elevating Samantha's importance to everything. Because once again, I'll ask the question, if most people in the United States government, especially on the Republican side, the right side, really didn't pay too much attention to Samantha, and a lot of the people on that side, Mona Charon's one that comes to mind, basically just said that she was a girl that was being used. Why would you even care about these accusations? That's the question that still comes to my mind, and I'll go into that more in the next videos. But this really is showing that behind the scenes, Samantha was very important to them, and these accusations, for whatever reason, were being taken seriously and being reported on by higher echelons within the government. So I'll end it here. I just wanted to add this in there quickly because this is the meeting and a document that was drawn up that led to that CIA document based on Sylvia Chase's probe into the FBI file that they had. And really, if Krasakov, if all he was saying in this article, which I don't have, unfortunately, and once again, if anybody does have it, definitely I would be interested in seeing it. He's really correct in what he's saying, that if all he was saying in his article was that the CIA and FBI were keeping tabs on Samantha, and not Samantha specifically, but the people around her or whatever, they're not lying. And so they're trying to make it seem like they're implicating the U.S. in the assassination, but really all they're doing is bringing up that they are actually probing Samantha. They did attach it with another assassination, Olaf Palme's and Indira Ghandi, but at the same time, they're not wrong in what they're saying. So I'll end it here with that, and just wanted to do a quick video, and I'll see you in the next one. Should be coming soon, and we'll continue with the foul play and accusations following all of this in March of 1986. All right, thanks.